From an alpha man to a Q-dog, MJ, it's all Greek. If you think Jordan had it easy pledging Omega grad chapter, come on. Every big brother wanted a shot at Jordan. And if Mike's dean of pledges drove a Yugo, I'm betting that M had the Yugo during his pledge process, and the grad chapter big brothers drove Mike's Porsche and Mercedes. At heart, Mike's just a regular guy. Sitting down talking to him, you sense it, you feel it. He's been the subject of our Sunday conversation 10 times. At ease, unguarded, funny one moment, serious the next.
It's not that I'm being selfish in the situation. I'm trying to get us to a point where we can be considered as one of the elite teams. And that can be if I'm scoring 60 points, or scoring 2 points, playing defense, passing, rebound, whatever I have to do to help this team get to that point. It's just been so fortunate that I had to do a little more offense early in my career. Now I'm at a point where other guys are stepping up, giving our offensive output that we need to be more of a more balanced basketball team. And I can relinquish some of the scoring, some of the highlights or the stardom to some of these other guys. It doesn't bother me. I don't care who shines, as long as we all shine as a team.
3, 2, Michael falls, fires. Yeah! Does it again!
Have you missed out on anything because of the celebrity status, because of sometimes being a prisoner of your fame?
I don't think I've missed out, but I think people around me have missed out. My wife, going to movies, going to dinners, taking my kids to parks, amusement parks. These things that my family's missed out on, that I'm making a conscious effort to try to do more of, because I don't think it's unfair to them.
From North Carolina, head guard, Michael Jordan.
Is the only way to define a great season to you winning a title?
Sure. I mean, what we have accomplished this season, and we've bonded together, which has been a very amazing thing all season long, is that we've put together a lot of different personalities on this team, and yet we've accomplished a lot. And you guys are either going to criticize or say that we're the best team in history. I think that's an unfair assessment, but I know one thing: we are champions this season.
Those few times when you take the last-second shot and miss, we're all shocked. We're surprised. Is that because our expectations of you are so high? Is it our fault? Or is it your fault because you set those expectations in the first place?
I think it's both. I expect myself to make those shots. You guys have seen it so often, you expect me to do it. So that's part of the motivation. That's part of the challenge, is to go out there and make it happen, because everyone expects it. And if it doesn't happen, I have the decency or the thought process to say, well, it wasn't meant to be. Let's go on to the next one.
Sometimes I dream
that he is me.
$10 billion is your worth to our society. Do you fully, completely grasp what you mean to this society, not just as far as sports are concerned, but as far as role models, as far as kids of every color, shape, size, thinking that they're you?
I'm aware of them, but I can't really grasp it yet, because when I first started this long road of basketball knowledge and education, I always considered it to be just a game. I never was intrigued by the business. That never drove me into the game. What consumed me was being the best basketball player I could be. And 13 years later, you see all the business that has been generated around the way you play the game. It baffles me. I'm shocked by it, because it never drove me. I never consumed myself with it. And somewhere down the road, when my kids have kids, I'm a grandfather, whatever, I'm gonna think back and say, man, I helped the economy in the 13 years that I played.
Could you possibly even entertain the thought of retiring without winning the final game of the season?
I don't want to think that way. I want to think that, whenever I choose to quit, that, I'm leaving when we're winning and not when we're losing,
But you couldn't walk off the floor having lost your last game, could you? The competitor in you, could you?
I could, because I have so many successes to have memories over, so I'm not afraid of that. I couldn't walk away from the game with people saying, well, he stayed a year too long.